Yeah, good evening everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. And I am Anusha, a community member of AWS User Group Madurai. I welcome you all to the sixth episode of AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp on behalf of our AWS User Group Madurai. As we all are in a community, as a member, we need to keep few rules in our mind. So be aware of others and be welcoming and respectful while speaking to other community members. Be friendly and patient to all. Be understanding of differences in terms of experience or knowledge, and all members are from different diverse backgrounds. So be kind and concentrate. Be open to all questions and viewpoints. Don't hesitate to shoot your questions in our Slack channel, and our community members and core team members are there to help you out. And once again, I welcome you all to the AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp. And this is a beginner friendly bootcamp. Anyone who is interested in starting their cloud journey as a beginner can participate in our bootcamp, and those who are intermediate can refresh their basic concepts they learned in cloud computing. And those who are expert can share their knowledge with our community members. Like our AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp sessions are handled by our own community members who are interested to share their knowledge with the fellow community members. As we all know, practice makes a man perfect. So we make sure that all our participants practice the concepts by conducting tasks to them. We will be giving tasks to the participants which need to be finished by them to get the certificate of attendance. And the top performers will be getting excited giveaways and 50% off on the AWS certification exams. And the and winners will be announced uh, based on the submission timing and how much correctly they solve the solution. And all the episodes will be having a hands-on session so beginners can easily understand the concept. So we will also have a cloud clearing session, and date will be revealed soon. So in the doubt clearing session, you can shoot out your questions related to AWS. So our experts will answer your questions. And so join our Slack channel to get instant updates. And we are today on episode 6 of our AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp on the topic of AWS database and analytics. And our speaker, Mr. Harrish Ragavendar, is currently a sophomore at Mepco Schlenk Engineering College in Computer Science and Engineering, and he is specialized in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and he loves to learn new things and is looking forward to new opportunities. He has a passion for artificial intelligence and machine learning and data science, and he is a great interest in developing AI products for the future. And it's a pleasure to have you today with us. And over to you, Arish.
Yeah, thank you, Anisha, for your introduction. And on behalf of AWS User Group Madurai, I welcome you all today for this session. And let me share my screen now. Yeah, I hope the slide is visible. And the topic for our today's session is database and analytics. And without wasting much time, let's get started with our topic. 1 minute. Some small issue with my presentation. Yeah, I hope my presentation is visible now, and let's get started with our topic. And now let's see an introduction to databases. Actually, what are databases? Every application needs a place to store data from users, devices, and the application itself. And a database is an organized collection of structured information or data typically stored electronically in a computer system. And a database is usually controlled by a database management system software. This software manages the database throughout, and together the data and the DBMS along with the applications that are associated with them are referred to as a database system, often shortened to just the word database. And to quickly summarize, databases are important backend systems that are used to store, manage, update, and analyze data for all types of applications, from small back office systems to mobile and consumer web applications with global scale. And next, relational database service. What does the term relational database service means is that it is a managed service that you can use to launch and manage relational databases on AWS. It is shortly known as RDS, and the primary use case is transactional database. It is best suited to structured relational data store requirements. And Amazon RDS supports the following database engines. They are Amazon Aurora, MySQL, MariaDB, Oracle, SQL Server, and PostSQL. And this is the diagrammatic representation of RDS. First, you can connect your app to any of the Amazon RDS engines. And Amazon Relational Database Service sets up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud with just a few clicks. And Amazon RDS managed features are security and compliance, data durability and redundancy, performance and scalability, monitoring and altering, automated patching and upgrades, backup and recovery. And it focuses on innovation, migrate without re-architecting applications, less time managing databases, improve database infrastructure efficiency, and decrease capital and operational expenses. Now let's see about Aurora. Amazon Aurora is also an RDS, which is nothing but relational database service that combines the speed and availability of high-end commercial databases with the simplicity and cost effectiveness of open source databases. Basically, there are two types of databases. They are proprietary databases and open source databases. For proprietary databases, we need to pay some amount to the company which owns that database, whereas open source database are free to use. And as I said, Aurora is an AWS proprietary database. It means that we need to pay a certain amount to use Aurora. And Aurora is a fully managed service, and it also has high performance at a low price. It basically maintains two copies of data which are kept in each availability zone with a minimum of three availability zones. Like if you store your data in Aurora, at least six copies of backup would be maintained in three availability zones. And it can handle the loss of up to two copies of data without affecting database write availability, and up to three copies of data without affecting read availability. And now let us see the ways of deploying the RDS. RDS can be deployed using multi-AEZ deployments, and multi-AEZ deployments basically have one standby or two standby database instances. When the deployment has one DB instance, it is called as multi-AEZ DB instance deployment. A multi-AZ DB instance deployment has one standby DB instance that provides failover support, but it doesn't serve the read traffic. Whereas, if the deployment has two standby database instances, it is called multi-AZ DB cluster deployment. And a multi-AZ DB cluster deployment has standby DB instances that provides failover support and can also serve read traffic. This is the difference between the instances and the clusters. Basically, the instances cannot provide failover support and it cannot serve read traffic, but the clusters can provide failover support and it can serve read traffic. And a multi-AES DB instance deployment has the following characteristics. There is only one row for the DB instance, and the value of role is instance or primary. The value of multi-AES is yes. And coming to multi-AES DB cluster deployment, it has the following characteristics. There is a cluster level row with 3 DB instance rows under it. In instance, we would have one row, but in cluster, we would have 3 rows. And for the cluster level row, the value of role is multi-AES DB cluster. And for each instance level row, the value of role is writer instance or reader instance. And for each instance level row, the value of multi-AES is 3 zones. And let's see about elastic cache. Before seeing about elastic cache, let's see what is cache memory. Cache memory is basically a small amount of memory which is used to temporarily hold the data before bringing it into the primary memory. The cache memory is basically so fast, and it's basically a costlier memory. And elastic cache is a web service that makes it easy to deploy and run memcache or Redis protocol compliant server nodes in the cloud. The in-memory caching provided by Elastic Cache can be used to significantly improve latency and throughput for many read-heavy application workloads or compute-intensive workloads. Best for scenarios where the database load is based on online analytics processing transactions. And Elastic Cache is compatible with Redis and Memcache. And this is the diagrammatic representation of elastic cache, and it can be used with internet scale applications like real-time apps in gaming, ride hailing, media streaming, dating, and social media need faster data access. And these places, as they require faster data access, Amazon Elastic Cache comes into play with blazing fast in-memory data store for use as a database, cache, message broker, and queue. It can store ephemeral data in memory for sub-millisecond response. Like, it can store a huge volume of data in its memory, but for just a few seconds. Its use cases are real-time transactions, chat, business intelligence and analytics, session store, gaming, leaderboards, and cache. Next comes Dynamo Database. Amazon Dynamo Database is a fully managed NoSQL database that provides fast and predictable performances with seamless scalability. Amazon DynamoDB stores 3 geographically distributed replicas of each table to enable high availability and data durability. And as DynamoDB is a NoSQL database, it is schemaless. It is a non-relational key value type of database. DynamoDB is a serverless service. There are no instances to provision or manage. Let's see about partitions in DynamoDB. Actually, Amazon DynamoDB stores data in partitions and not as a whole single block. A partition is an allocation of storage for a table that is automatically replicated across multiple availability zones within an AWS region. Partition management is handled entirely by DynamoDB. That is, we never have to manage the partitions ourselves. What it means is that if we store data in DynamoDB, it would partition our data into several partitions, and each partition will be stored in separate availability zone. This greatly ensures data security. And DynamoDB allocates sufficient partitions to your table so that it can handle your provision throughput requirements. And this is the diagrammatic representation of partitioning a table. See, if I store a single table in DynamoDB, it would automatically partition itself and store it in different availability zones. Let's see about primary keys. Primary keys in a database are actually used to uniquely identify a row, and DynamoDB stores and retrieves data based on a primary key. There are two types of primary key: partition key and composite key. Partition key is nothing but an unique attribute in a row. For example, we can consider an user ID, and the value of the partition key is input to an internal hash function which determines the partition or physical location on which the data is stored. And if you are using the partition key as a primary key, then no two items can have the same partition key. uh, Actually, the primary key must be always unique and it must not be a null value. And this is an example table where it consists an entity which has several attributes, and the first attribute is the partition key and the next are just other attributes in the table. The partition key, as we can see, is the post id, which is unique, but the attributes which are present, they might be unique, or there can be a redundancy in the attributes, but the partition key must always be unique. And next, let's see about composite key, which is the combination of partition key and a sort key. For example, if a user is posting to a forum, partition key would be the user ID, sort key would be the timestamp of the post. And two items may have the same partition key, but they must have a different sort key. Like if a user posts in a forum, he can make multiple posts with the same user ID, but he can't make two posts simultaneously at a single time. And all items with the same partition key are stored together. Like an user ID may be associated with multiple posts, but it will be sorted in the order of its timestamp. And it allows us to store multiple items with the same partition key. As we can see in this table, we use the client ID as the partition key and the column created as the sort key. As we can see in the partition key, Chris at example.com appears twice. There is a redundancy in the partition key, but in the sort key of those two rows are different, or it's unique. So that this combination acts as a composite key. And next, let's see about Redshift. Amazon Redshift is a fast, fully managed data warehouse that makes it simple and cost effective to analyze all your data using standard SQL and existing business intelligence tools. Redshift is a SQL based data warehouse used for analytics applications. And Redshift is used for running complex analytic queries against petabytes of structured data using sophisticated query optimization, columnar storage on high performance local disks, and massively parallel query execution. Like if we have a huge volume of data ranging to petabytes, using Redshift, uh, it would be like fetching the particular data in few seconds. That's the main advantages of Redshift. And Redshift is ideal for processing large amounts of data for business intelligence. And it's extremely cost effective as compared to some other on-premises data warehouse platforms. And Redshift is 10x faster than a traditional SQL database. And Redshift uses columnar data storage, and it does not use and it doesn't store data in rows. It stores data in columns. And columnar based database is ideal for data warehousing and analytics compared to row based databases. And it requires fewer IOs, which greatly enhances performance. And Redshift provides good query performance and compression. Elastic MapReduce, also known as EMR. And Amazon EMR is a web service that enables business researchers, data analysts, and developers to process vast amounts of data. EMR utilizes a hosted Hadoop framework running on Amazon EC2 and Amazon S3. With EMR, you can run petabyte scale analysis at less than half of the cost of traditional on premises solutions, over 3x faster than standard Apache Spark. And using these frameworks and related open source projects, You can process data for analytic purposes and business intelligence workloads. Amazon EMR also lets you transform and move large amounts of data into and out of AWS data stores and databases such as Amazon Simple Storage Service or Amazon S3 and Amazon DynamoDB. And this is the diagrammatic representation of Amazon EMR. And using EMR, we can easily run and scale Apache Spark, Hive, Presto, and other big data workloads. And we can choose our open source big data framework and version, and we can run applications built using open source frameworks on EC2, EKS, Outpost, or completely serverless. And we can also develop, run, and visualize and debug data pipelines, analytics, and data science applications, SQL queries, and ML workloads using familiar tools. EMR is a good place to deploy Apache Spark, an open source distributed processing used for big data workloads, which utilizes in-memory caching and optimized query execution. You can also launch Presto clusters. Presto is an open source distributed SQL query engine designed for fast analytic queries against large datasets. And you can access Amazon EMR by using the AWS Management Console, command line tools, SDKs, or even the EMR API. Next, Athena. Amazon Athena is an interactive query service that makes it easy to analyze data in Amazon S3 using the standard SQL. Athena is serverless, so there is no infrastructure to manage and you pay only for the queries that you run. And Athena is easy to use. Simply, you can put your data in Amazon S3 and define the schema and start querying using standard SQL. And Amazon Athena uses Presto with full standard SQL support and works with a variety of standard data formats, including CSV, JSON, ORC, Apache Parquet, and Avro. While Amazon Athena is ideal for quick ad hoc querying and integrates with Amazon QuickSight for easy visualization, it can also handle complex analysis, including large joins, window functions, and arrays. Athena is optimized for fast performance with Amazon S3. Athena automatically executes queries in parallel so that you need not get query results in seconds even on large datasets. And more results are delivered within seconds. Next, Amazon QuickSight. Amazon QuickSight is a machine learning powered business intelligence service built for the cloud under Amazon Web Services umbrella. It enables firms to make smarter data driven decisions. The Amazon QuickSight BI enables businesses to create and analyze data visualizations and extract easy to understand insights to inform businesses' decision making. These interactive dashboards can be seamlessly embedded into many applications, portals, and websites. Amazon QuickSight is scalable so it can support thousands of users without additional infrastructure management or capacity planning. It is also device agnostic. Next, document database. A document database is a type of non-relational database that is designed to store and query data as JSON-like documents. Document databases make it easy for developers to store and query data in a database by using the same document model format they use in their application code. And the flexible, semi-structured, and hierarchical nature of documents and document databases allow them to evolve with applications' needs. And document databases enable flexible indexing, powerful ad hoc queries, and analytics over collections of documents. Amazon Document DB comes with MongoDB compatibility and it is fast, scalable, and highly available and fully managed document database service that supports MongoDB workloads. Developers can use the same MongoDB application code, drivers, and tools to run, manage, and scale workloads on Amazon Document DB and enjoy improved performance, scalability, and availability without having to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure. Neptune. Amazon Neptune is a fast, reliable, fully managed graph database service that makes it easy to build and run applications that work with highly connected datasets. The core of Neptune is a purpose built, high performance graph based database engine. This engine is optimized for storing billions of relationships and querying the graph with milliseconds latency. Actually, Neptune uses graph databases, which are nothing but interconnected networks. Like each and every data will have a relation with another data. And Neptune supports the popular graph query languages Apache, Tinkerpop, Gremlin, and W3C's SparkQL, enabling you to build queries that efficiently navigate highly connected datasets. Neptune powers graph use cases such as recommendation engines, fraud detection, knowledge graphs, drug discovery, and network security. Neptune is highly available with RED replicas, in time recovery, continuous backup to Amazon S3, and replication across availability zones. Neptune provides data security features with support for encryption at rest and in transit. Neptune is fully managed, so you no longer need to worry about the database management tasks such as hardware provisioning, software patching, setup, configuration, or backups. Next comes Quantum Ledger Database or QLDB. Amazon QLDB is a fully managed ledger database that provides transparent, immutable, and cryptographically verifiable transaction log. Each and every transaction into the database will be verified cryptographically so that a great level of security is ensured. And you can also use the Amazon QLDB to track all application data changes and maintain a complete and verifiable history of changes over time. Amazon QLDB is a new class of database that helps eliminate the need to engage in the complex development effort of building your own ledger-like applications. With QLDB, the history of changes to your data is immutable. It cannot be altered, updated, or deleted. Like if someone makes a change to your data, it will be stored in the history, and the history cannot be deleted or altered or updated. And this is the diagrammatic representation of Amazon QLDB. First, the application data communicates the QLDB. The application may be like credit and debit card transactions, insurance claim history, supply chain asset tracking, vehicle records, and much more. And inside the QLDB, we have current state and indexed history and the journal. The current state and indexed history, it stores the current value and the historical state of your data. For example, the current value of a bank account and its history. And coming to the journal, its append-only immutable journal stores a sequenced, cryptographically verifiable entry of each change made. And changes are chained together as blocks. For example, credits and debits. And access complete history of changes to your data. Basically, using QLDB, you can track each and every single change made to your data, and it is cryptographically verifiable. What it means is that the changes made to your data is cryptographically verifiable and it cannot be deleted. Next, coming to AWS Glue. AWS Glue is a fully managed pay-as-you-go, extract, transform, and load ETL service that automates time-consuming steps of data preparation for analytics. AWS Glue automatically discovers and profiles data via the Glue data catalog, recommends and generates ETL code to transform your source data into target schemas. AWS Glue runs the ETL jobs on a fully managed, scale-out Apache Spark environment to load your data into its destination. AWS Glue also allows you to set up, orchestrate, and monitor complex data flows. Managed blockchain. Amazon Managed Blockchain is a fully managed service that makes it easy to join public networks or create and manage scalable private networks using the popular open source frameworks such as Hyperledger Fabric and Ethereum. Blockchain makes it possible to build applications where multiple parties can execute transactions without the need of for a trusted central authority. It eliminates the overhead required to create the network or join a public network and automatically scales the to meet the demands of thousands of applications running millions of transactions. And this is the diagrammatic representation of managed blockchain. First, we need to choose a framework. Choose an open source framework or choose open source blockchain framework. And with a few clicks, you can just join a public network or you can create a private network. And basically, if you are creating a private network, you can invite other members with AWS accounts to join that network. And next, we can select the nodes, provision peer nodes that store a copy of the distributed ledger. And next, at last, we can deploy the applications. Like we can create and deploy decentralized applications through your peer nodes, transact with peers without a centralized authority. Next, data migration service or DMS. AWS data migration service helps you migrate databases to AWS quickly and securely. Like if you are having your database in some other database management systems like Oracle or MySQL, you can simply migrate it to AWS Cloud. The source database remains fully operational during the migration, minimizing downtime to applications that rely on the database. Like while you are migrating your database from other softwares to AWS, in the meantime also the database will be fully functional, and the database migration service can migrate your data to and from the most widely used commercial and open source websites. AWS Database Migration Service supports homogeneous migrations such as Oracle to Oracle, as well as heterogeneous migrations between different database platforms such as Oracle to Microsoft SQL Server or to Amazon Aurora. And with AWS Database Migration Service, you can also continuously replicate data with low latency from any supported source to any supported target. For example, consider this situation. Like you can replicate from multiple sources to Amazon Simple Storage Service or Amazon S3 to build a highly available and scalable data lake solution. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you for patiently listening.
Thank you, Harrish, for this wonderful session. And participants, if you have any doubts or any queries, you can put it in chat. Yeah, there's a question, Harish. EMR and I think you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can.
EMR and are one type of query languages.
So I think I can take up the question as well. So yeah, so Banu Prakash asked if is both EMR and Athena are one type of query languages. It's not about actually it's not query languages. Both are services of Amazon, especially they are for big data platforms. So EMR is where you deploy large number of clusters to process petabytes of data seamlessly, and actually deploys and has control over big data solutions such as Hadoop, Presto, Spark, and etc. So whereas meanwhile Athena is for data analytics, where it actually uses Presto, and it tries to uh, we can use it for the data analytics processes. So that's the difference between two. And actually Athena uses query language, which is actually SQL. So you can actually query that using SQL, and EMR is more like a deployed cluster of workspaces. So I think there is one more question. So what if my data is not open source and wanted to migrate to AWS DB? Yep, that's a good question. So there are a couple of migration services which is available in AWS, which is, for example, Data Sync is one service which helps you to migrate from on-premise to cloud, which you can explore as well. So that will, and also there are many connectivities and tools which is available to migrate from your on-premise database to your cloud database like DynamoDB or RDS or anything you wish. So, but yeah, predominantly we can go for data sync. So, if there are any more questions, you can drop that in the chat box, and we have a couple of minutes more to take the questions. So if not, please do comment your questions in the chat box. And if not, you can also post it in our Slack channel where we would like to take the questions offline. And I guess, Anusha, we can proceed.
Yeah, okay, Vivek. I'll share my screen. Yeah. These are the AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp sessions finished so far. So there are so far 5 episodes have been finished. So if you are missed out, don't worry. You can watch it from our YouTube channel anytime. So you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you will not miss out any of our sessions, and updates will be coming to you instantly. So next is our AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp task, and it will be explained by Vivek. It's over to you,
So,
Vivek.
yeah, thank you. So, the main motto of having a task in the bootcamp is to enable everyone to have a hands-on session of what we actually learn, which is actually pretty much essential for your certification as well as your practical career experience as well. So, these tasks are specially designed by us, which includes all the concepts which we learn in our bootcamp. So, task one is based upon the episodes one and two. So the main motive of is to create AWS account and configure IAM policies. So do check out that link which we have in the chat box, like which is present in the chat box as well, and also in the screen. So this is where you have all your necessary task details where you have to complete it, and you have to do all the following steps and complete and submit the screenshots in the Google form which is in the link. And based on the submission of whoever does it fast as well as the correctness of the solution, we will select the winners, and based on that. So, and also to help everyone to learn and seamlessly help you with the learning process, we will do have the task discussion after the task duration is completed. So we'll walk you through the solution as well as help you out to understand what we really asked in the task. And the winners of this particular, every task will receive a discounted AWS Cloud Practitioner, AWS Cloud Certification voucher, which you can use it to schedule your exams and avail it. So this is a specialty of having a hands-on task in our bootcamp. So do really participate in it. And the more number of tasks you perform, and there is more number of chances that you stand win amazing giveaways as well. So with that, I guess that's regarding the task. If you have any more doubts, please join our Slack channel, which is also present in the comment as well as on the screen. So where we can really help you to guide to complete the task as well as help you with any other details related to AWS or anything. So with that being said, I guess that's all for the task today, and I guess Anushka can continue.
Yeah, thank you, Vivek. And it's a small glimpse about our community. So why us? Here you will have a great networking opportunity to network with AWS experts and with the fellow community members. So you will be getting instant updates on AWS events and AWS content so that you will not miss out any opportunity from AWS. So you will be getting excited giveaways, swags, and certification vouchers and AWS credits by winning the contest and completing the task, etc. That's announced by our AWS User Group Madurai community. And here you will be sharing your knowledge and learning new things from community members. We are we will be having a guidance and training on AWS certification. You can shoot your questions regarding certification doubts and your cloud platform doubts. We'll be posting jobs and hiring opportunities in our jobs channel in our AWS User Group Slack channel, Madhuri channel. And as we discussed before, It will be a great space for all of us to join and network with other community members. And our community also supports our community members' skills and talents. Like you can write a blog, videos, and any form of content that is related to AWS. We'll be supporting you by publishing it in our social medias and encouraging you more. And in our community, we will welcome all level of members. There is no particular level of members to join. From beginner to the expertise, all the members are welcome to join in our community. So there is no particular language barrier. So this language people should join our community. It's not like that. Every language from any state or any from any country can join a community, join a community, and participate in a contest and win excited swags and goodies. And finally, join our Slack channel to get instant updates about the events and contests. And we are in all social medias, so you can follow us in all social medias, and you can keep eye on our events updates. And don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel so that you can get all the event updates and you will not miss out any of our sessions. And we came to end of the session. Thank you for
Anisha,
joining us.
one second. I think I'll make one simple announcement. So, yep, as requested by the audience, yep, this session does not have a hands-on, but we'll have a follow-up episode on database and analytics where we'll have exclusively a hands-on session for it. And we will discuss more about that in the upcoming session. And the details of that particular episode will be posted in the Slack. So keep an eye on it. So, and yep, I think that's the announcement which I want to make.
Yeah, thank you, Vivek, and thank you for joining today. And everyone stay safe and meet you all in the next section. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and join our Slack community. Thank you, guys.